All right, we've all heard some wild conspiracy theories. Lizard people, secret moon bases, aliens running our Wi-Fi. But what if I told you some of them actually turned out to be true? From government experiments to things straight out of a sci-fi movie, these are 10 crazy conspiracies that were once dismissed, but later proven to be 100% real. And trust me, number one will make you question everything. Welcome to Viral Top 10s, where we dive into the wildest, weirdest, and most mind-blowing facts that you won't believe are true. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on real-life conspiracies that went from, nah, that's crazy, to, oh no, they actually did that. Buckle up, it's about to get weird. Number 10. The US government spied on its own citizens. COINTELPRO. You know how people joke about the government spying on them? Well, it's not a joke. In the 1950s and 60s, the FBI ran a secret program called COINTELPRO, where they illegally spied on American citizens, activists, and even celebrities. So next time you whisper, "Hey, FBI agent watching me," someone actually did that once. The program targeted civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., with the FBI sending him anonymous, threatening letters trying to ruin his reputation. The public only found out years later when the government was forced to admit it. Oops. Number 9. The CIA ran secret mind control experiments, MKUltra. This one sounds straight out of a Hollywood movie, but it's 100% real. In the 1950s, the CIA ran a top-secret program called MKUltra, where they experimented with mind control, hypnosis, and even LSD on unsuspecting people. Because nothing says national security like drugging random citizens to see what happens. Some victims were given high doses of LSD without their knowledge, while others were subjected to psychological torture. The goal: to create brainwashed super spies. Spoiler alert, it didn't work, but it did ruin a lot of lives. Number 8. The US poisoned its own alcohol during Prohibition. During Prohibition, the US government wanted to stop illegal alcohol sales, but instead of just, arresting people, they took a way darker approach. They poisoned industrial alcohol supplies, knowing full well that bootleggers would use it to make drinks. Imagine just wanting a casual drink and the government, reverses your liver. As a result, thousands of people died from tainted alcohol before they finally stopped the program. And people say the government doesn't take things too far. Number 7. The Gulf of Tonkin incident was fake. Ever heard of the Gulf of Tonkin incident? It was the excuse the US used to enter the Vietnam War in 1964. But years later, declassified documents revealed something shocking. The attack that led to war never actually happened. That's right. An entire war started over an imaginary fight. The government claimed North Vietnamese forces attacked a US ship, but intelligence reports later showed there was no attack at all. This means tens of thousands of lives were lost over a lie. Number 6. The government secretly injected people with syphilis, Tuskegee experiment. This one is beyond horrifying. From 1932 to 1972, the US government ran the Tuskegee syphilis study, where they secretly infected African American men with syphilis without telling them, just to observe how the disease progressed. Trust the government, they said. Then they pulled this. Even after doctors discovered a cure, the government refused to treat the victims, letting many die just to keep the experiment going. It wasn't exposed until a whistleblower leaked the truth in 1972. Number 5. The CIA helped smuggle drugs. Iran-Contra affair. Ever heard of the CIA running drugs? In the 1980s, the US government was caught selling weapons to Iran. Yes, the same Iran they were fighting. And using the profits to fund illegal rebel groups in Central America, all while helping drug cartels move cocaine into the US. Imagine fighting a war on drugs while literally funding the drug trade. This was exposed in the Iran-Contra scandal, proving that the government was deep in the business of weapons, drugs, and secret deals. Number 4. Operation Northwoods, the fake terror plan. You've heard of false flag operations, but this one is next level. In the 1960s, the US government actually planned to stage terrorist attacks on American soil. Yes, on their own citizens, to justify going to war with Cuba. This was called Operation Northwoods, and it's as insane as it sounds. Yes, the old let's attack ourselves so we can attack someone else a strategy. Genius, if you're a Bond villain. The plan included faking hijackings, blowing up ships, and even staging violent riots, all so they could blame Cuba and start a war. Thankfully, President Kennedy shut it down, but the fact that this was even proposed? Yikes. Number 3, the government admitted UFOs are real. Finally! For decades, if you talked about UFOs, people would call you a conspiracy nut. But in 2020, the Pentagon casually dropped a bombshell. They confirmed UFOs are real. So let me get this straight. We spent years laughing at UFO believers, and then the government just goes, oh yeah, those are real. LOL. The Pentagon released classified footage of UFOs moving at impossible speeds, and officials even admitted we have no idea what these things are. So, should we be concerned? Asking for the entire planet. Number 2, Watergate was way worse than we thought. Most people know that President Nixon resigned over the Watergate scandal. But what they don't realize is that it was even worse than what was reported at the time. Imagine cheating in politics so hard that you become the first president in U.S. history to quit mid-game. The Nixon administration didn't just spy on political opponents. They bugged offices, stole documents, bribed witnesses, and even plotted attacks on journalists. When the tapes of Nixon discussing it all leaked, he had no choice but to resign. If Watergate happened today, Twitter would have exploded. Number 1. Big Tobacco lied about smoking for decades. Today, we all know smoking causes cancer. But for years, cigarette companies paid scientists to lie, convincing people that smoking was actually good for them. That's right. There were actual ads that said, doctors recommend the cigarette brand. Meanwhile, those same doctors were probably coughing their lungs out. For decades, Big Tobacco knew smoking was deadly. But instead of telling the truth, they hired scientists to publish fake studies claiming cigarettes were safe. It wasn't until the 1990s that leaked documents exposed the biggest corporate cover-up in medical history. And there you have it. 10 crazy conspiracies that were once laughed at until they turned out to be true. From fake wars to mind control experiments, these stories prove that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. So, what do you think? Which one shocked you the most? And more importantly, what crazy conspiracy do you think might be true next? Let us know in the comments before this video mysteriously disappears. If this video made you question everything, hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing facts and hidden truths. Thanks for watching Viral Top 10s. See you next time, unless we get redacted first.